And you end up doing these things and you have this inner tension going on over time on some of the projects. And I think everyone feels this, but for some the voice is louder than others. For me, it was growing and growing and growing. And it was as I was going through it. Of course, it was confounding. It was frustrating. I
Mhm.
was, I was having my emotional swings were all over the place because I felt like I was at odds with myself and I was taking it out on people and trying to
Yeah,
placate myself with buying things I didn't need. All of this just to make that voice quiet down and say, and just let it make it think that things are okay. And meanwhile, I'm being told by my manager, you're doing a great job. Keep up what you're doing. Here's some more money so that you can keep doing what you're doing and keep getting better doing what you're doing. And I'm thinking inside, to keep doing what I don't believe I should be
exactly.
doing, and now I'm
Exactly.
being rewarded for it. So we find ourselves in these situations so often. And the comical part for me, looking back on it now, I find it comical, is that eventually I was laid off, which
Mm.
for me was like, great, someone else took the decision out of my hands and said,
Yeah.
we don't need you anymore. And I'm like, excellent. I don't have to put up with this anymore because I was doing something I didn't believe in, but I was afraid to say no. I thought
Right.
it'd be irresponsible to turn the money down, to turn the position down, to have to go to my friends and say, yeah, I quit. And they'd be like, you quit that company? What's wrong with you? You were
Yeah.
getting paid so well. So yeah, it's really a challenge to get to that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel for everyone.
Yeah, it is for everyone. And again, we talked a little bit, I think it's Henry David Thoreau who said the mass of men go through life in quiet desperation and go to their graves with their songs still in them.
Yeah.
And, there's something about that. There's something about many of us have chosen or have been at least highly encouraged to not speak our truest self, to actually represent a company or represent an industry or represent an entity of some sort. Sometimes it's our family we're representing, and we do so without our whole and honest truth on the line. We do so knowing that what we're saying is not aligned with what we know to be true or what we know to be valuable. And there, that's where the source of dis-ease happens. That's where, when you're misaligned with your own self, there is, that dichotomy is just a sham. You start living in duplicity. You start living in what you know to be true and what you pretending to act to be true. And those things are totally different. You can expect that there's going to be some busting going on inside of your physical, emotional, spiritual, or intellectual self to deal with the fact that you no longer are resonating even within your own self. And we all understand that. That's the other thing. Is there's nobody and there's no human, including the monks in Tibet. We think about the monks in Tibet. Why do you think they go into caves? It's to deal with this.
Yeah.
It's to deal with this. That's why they go. Why do they want to quiet down the whole world? Why do they meditate 8, 10, 12 hours a day? It's so they can deal with this. This is the human condition. This is it. This is the embodiment of the human condition. This is the essence of the human condition. And what's the great news is that we have access to doing something about it. We can hover over ourselves. We can make incremental changes in how we be and how we act and in what we say and in how we carry on our life. We can make those changes, and we can do so by just really having respect for all that we've done up until now, and then what's really so for you right now. It does take some energy and some courage to speak what's so in front of a group of people that you're not sure is going to receive you favorably.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that there's a couple divisive topics out there in the world recently?
There's a few.
Yeah, there's a couple, right? Like nearly everything we talk about has a chance of upsetting someone else in the room.
Right.
And, which side are you on the war? Which side are you on Black Lives Matter? Which side are you on COVID? Which side are you on, climate change? Which side are you on election?